who comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
All right, got that done in time. Yay for me. Yeah, people jumping on. I'm going to tell you right now, I was not anticipating anybody. Sandy Lincoln, welcome. Oh, she left. I'm sorry, Sandy. Would have been good to have you here. It looks like we have people showing up on Facebook here. So if you're here, please say hello. And I'm just going to give it a couple more seconds. Give it like 30 more seconds to let people kind of join on if they want to. Yeah, we don't cover this topic enough. And I was thinking about it this morning. I'm like, I need to get back to my talking about deeper subjects. And I think this is one of them. I think as a man, I need to talk to this. I need to talk about this and go through it, man, because it's tough. It is. So, all right, that was about 30 seconds. So let's go ahead and get started. Because I really wasn't anticipating. People are scared of this topic, and they certainly don't want their name showing up on there, right? No, not my name. All right. Maybe you'll be okay with it as we kind of talk about it, okay? Because it's not as tough to talk about as you think. Okay, so put away the embarrassing shit. Right? Let's put it away. Let's think on this. I was a hoe. I was a male hoe. Plain and simple. And my wife knows about it. It's not like it's a secret to her. My wife knows everything about me. I don't hide it. She knows everything. Why? Because she loves me for who I am, not what other people might want me to be or whatever, right? But the problem is this, is I spent so many years. Okay. Let's back up just a little bit. I'm sorry. So when you drink alcohol, what happens? Well, your inhibitions go down. Right? I mean, we even name people like, oh, that's a six-packer, Yeah, and I even hate to say that because it's rude. Okay? That is rude. Think of it this way. Man, she don't like you either. Yeah? But the thing is, I mean, I even utilize sex to stay off the streets. Something I'm not very proud of. But I did it more than once. So I could get what it is that I wanted. I was just using and abusing somebody, letting them think that there was a relationship there. All right? But really, it was just the alcohol. It was just the alcohol. So I did this for years. And when I got sober this time, being intimate with my wife became very hard. I'm still lost. Okay? I'm 5.5 years sober. I'm still working on it. Thank God for my wife. You guys don't dig more into it than you say. It's not like she hasn't gotten any. Okay. This isn't always as easy to talk about, right? I said it's easy. It's not as hard as we think to talk about, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy. And of course, my wife validated this first, but she had seen two people. It means I'm doing the right thing. My wife said to me once, she said, Dion, sometimes I kind of wish that you did drink so that we would have sex. She's like, that's actually the one thing that I enjoyed about you when we were drinking. But even during that, there was no intimacy for me. It was just, I'm drunk. Right? So I'm not going to just base this off of my experience. Let's go to the big book because it talks about this. It talks about exactly what we are talking about right now. But we don't talk about it in meetings, man. I wouldn't think it would be a very appropriate subject for a mixed meeting, but good luck on finding a fucking men's meeting that's worth a shit. I won't even start a men's meeting right now because they don't show up. They will not show up and talk about their feelings. I don't know why. All right. So this is on page 68. Now about sex. Many of us needed overhauling there, but above all, we try to be sensible on this question. It is easy to go way off track. Here we find human opinions running to extremes, absurd extremes perhaps. One set of voices cries that sex is a lust of power, is the lust of our lower nature, a base necessity of procreation. Then we have the voices who cry for sex and more sex, who bewail the institution of marriage, who think that most of the troubles of the races are traceable to sex causes. And here's part of the problem is sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes we get rid of that alcohol and we start replacing it with sex. Meaningless sex. I've been through that part too. Here comes Kitty. Get out of my light, dude. All right. They do not think, they think we do not have enough of it or it isn't the right kind. They see its significance everywhere. One school would allow man no flavor for his fare, and the other would have all of us on the straight pepper diet. We want to stay out of this controversy. Aha. Controversy. That's one of the big ones for marriage, guys. It is. It can break up a marriage. And I can kind of see why, right? We all have, we want to stay out of this. We do not want to be the arbiter of anyone's sex conduct. Okay? So that means we're not going to tell you how to lead your sex life. We hardly be human if we didn't. We all have sex problems. We hardly be human if we didn't. But what can we do about them? We reviewed our own conduct over the years past. Where have we been selfish, dishonest, or inconsiderate? Whom had we hurt? Did we unjustifiably arouse jealousy, suspicion, or bitterness? Where were we at fault? What could we have done instead? We got this all down in paper and looked at it. I'm going to tell you what mine was. I was great at this. I'd start seeing a girl, and I was very clear that I was a drinker, and that's how I was. And eventually, after a while, I could tell she's getting ready to leave. So, hey, you want to tie the knot? Oh, blah, blah, blah. And then comes the, well, I'm going to try and change you in the breakup. Happened every single time. That's the way it worked. Right? I was purely selfish when it came to sex when I was drinking. It was all about me and what I wanted and the amount of and who. And it was disgusting. In this way, we tried to shape a sane and sound ideal for our future sex life. We subjected each relation to this test. Was it selfish or not? We asked God to mold our ideals and to help us live up to them. We remembered always that our sex powers were God-given and therefore good, neither to be used lightly or selfishly, nor to be despised and loathed. Whatever our ideal turns out to be, we must be willing to grow toward it. We must be willing to make amends where we have done harm, provided that we do not bring about still more harm in doing so. In other words, we treat sex as we would any other problem. In meditation, we ask God that we should do what we should do about each specific matter. The right answer will come if you want it. God alone can judge our sex situation. Counsel persons is often desirable, but we let God be the final judge. We realize that some people are as fanatical about sex as others are loose. We avoid hysterical thinking or advice. Oh, yay, a bomber! You're my first bomber. Welcome. Yeah, all right. I can